Hi there, my name is David Jerome. I'm a writer and a photographer from Fullerton, California. Yeah, I have a new book called I Love America, and it's a small I, and it's a little play on words because it's an iPhone photographic tour of the United States on our 250th birthday. And so all these pictures in the entire book were all taken with my iPhone over the years, from about 2010 to current times. It's about 255 pages scattered all around the United States. Whenever we had time to go anywhere, we would just pick a different part of the country and go and explore. And I always like going to the small towns or the non-tourist towns in America, and just try to explore those and see what's interesting about that town. And I would always try to leave with at least one good picture from that town. Like I had this idea, when I first started 10 or 15 years ago, about just trying to document each place that I went with one good picture, and with the idea of eventually putting them into a book. And the reason I did it now is because of America's 250th birthday. So there's still some places that I would like to go and get more photos, and maybe there'll be a second edition down the road. But I just felt like now was the right time to put them in a book and get them out there for the big birthday. Mainly just for the convenience, because I guess it's just like a laziness, but of not wanting to carry around all the equipment and all the setup and all that kind of stuff. Just more spontaneous, that I could just pull it out of my pocket and snap something, because so many times you don't have time to get it. It's there and it's gone. It's been very convenient for me. I really like that part of it. There's definitely parts of the iPhone experience that I don't like, but I love having a camera on me at all times. Just middle America, I would say, like the people call flyover country. That's probably my favorite. I love to just, end up somewhere in the Midwest and, just get a car and drive around and stop at a Waffle House and go to a minor league baseball game. That's just kind of heaven to me, So those kind of towns, like, just recently I was in Indianapolis, and then Fort Wayne, Indiana, Toledo, Ohio, and then Detroit, and so a lot of people aren't hitting those on their vacations, but that's what I like about them. And then I just go in and find a diner or a bar or whatever and chat with the people, and most of the time they're really willing to talk to you, because they don't get a whole lot of people visiting their towns, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And I love the middle America. So I would say just when you find something, like just for example, this one right here, which is Monument Valley. We were there during the COVID years, like 2020, 2021. We're just trying to find places that we could go. And Monument Valley is, smack dab in the middle of nowhere. And so we went out there and we stayed at this hotel or motel or whatever that was just out and right by all the monument buttes. And so one morning I just got up, and it was, nobody else was there, first of all, because nobody's traveling at that time. So we practically had the motel to ourselves. And then I was up fairly early. And so this was an early morning shot where I was just kind of walking around the motel, and this big red arrow was actually pointing for people on their direction to drive to parking in the motel. But I walked by it and I thought, wow, if you angle it just right, it appears that it's pointing you to the butte, in case you can't see it for yourself. And so I took that picture, and I knew that was a good one right from the beginning. And when I came back later that fall, I entered it in the Orange County Fair. They have a big photo exhibit, every summer, and so that one made it in. It's pretty hard to get into the Orange County Fair's photo exhibit. There's a lot of great photographers in the county, and so just getting in, I consider a win. And that was one of the photos that was actually accepted into the Orange County Fair. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you why I chose this for the cover. This is one of my earliest pictures, and I think one of the most interesting, because this was a bucket list experience that I had where I wanted to march in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because it's such a great American tradition. And so eventually I found my way into it. It's kind of difficult to get into, but I got in and I was able to be one of the balloon handlers for the Elf on the Shelf balloon. So after you do the whole parade and you march all through Manhattan, at the end of the parade, after you're on TV in front of Macy's, they take you around the corner, and then this is where you deflate the balloons. And so this was all my coworkers down here, and we were all in charge of getting the helium out of the balloon. And I just thought that it made such an interesting picture because you always see the balloons flying through the skyline, but you don't see what happens. But after this, they deflate it, just put it in one of these bins, and they haul it back to New Jersey, and it hangs out in a warehouse until next Thanksgiving. Oh. So that's just kind of the other side of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But I thought it made an interesting photo with the balloon being deflated and all the elves, working on it. So, and that was a great experience. One of my best bucket list experiences for sure. I've been I don't know if you can see it from here, but I've been road tripping around the United States. My first one was in 1988 when I was, I think, 21 or 22 years old. And then I would do that, every few years, try to pick a different route and go a different place and everything. And so I started with this map, and I started making dark lines over the freeways and the highways that I've actually driven on. And so I continued, and just like I said, just recently we went to Indiana and Ohio and Detroit, so I added that to this list. But these are all the highways that I've driven on. So it's not just visiting each 50 states. It's exploring the highways and byways and back roads and just the smaller out of the way places. Including, driving the old Route 66. I did that about 25 years ago. And anyway, so this is just sort of a documentation of all the roads that I've driven on in the United States over the years.